Hi and welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you my team selection for Game Week 19 of Fantasy Premier League, so let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, so as I said before, today I'm going to show you my team selection for Game Week 19, but before doing that I want to show you real short how my team performed in Game Week 18, and as you can see from the screen, 39 points all out for me this game week. It was a pretty horrible game week for me, not going to lie, but I think that it was a pretty bad gaming for a lot of people, so I feel you. Now, looking real short about how my team performed this gaming, you can see it was pretty horrible all over the pitch. Raya, Arsenal didn't keep a clean sheet, just 2 points. Manchester City, O'Reilly 1 point, Foden 2 points, Haaland 2 points. Now, it doesn't really matter that much how Foden and Haaland perform because a lot of people have them, but it is still bad, right? And yeah, Man City didn't keep that clean sheet against Nottingham Forest. O'Reilly got a yellow card, so just a 1-pointer for him. Alderete, finally, he was the main guy from my defense. As you can see, he got defensive contributions. He got 4 points, and luck or not, Alderete somehow managed to outscore O'Reilly, Virgil van Dijk, and Lacroix. And yeah, I find it a little bit funny, but it is what it is. Really happy that I picked Alderete to start for me this gaming. Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool again. They couldn't keep a clean sheet against Wolverhampton, so it is possible for Liverpool to not keep a clean sheet against the worst team in the Premier League, and that's definitely not good news for me as a Virgil van Dijk owner. But again, the fixtures are decent. We're going to discuss about what I'm going to do with him in a minute. Lacroix, he got at least defensive contributions and he got 3 points. So this is all about my defense. Rodon got injured, so probably I have to sell him soon enough, but he's just a 4 million defender, so he's not a priority at the moment. Looking at my midfield, Cunha was my transfer in for Bruno Fernandes, and obviously he blanked against Newcastle, but I think that he played decent in the first half at least, and I bought Cunha mainly for the next 3 fixtures, Wolverhampton, Leeds and Burnley, so yeah, I'm just going to keep Cunha. Hopefully he can do something in those fixtures. Foden, we talked about him. Semenyo, he was the guy who I wanted to keep for Brentford away, and he was the main scorer for my team this gaming, so really happy that I kept Semenyo, but the fixtures are horrible in the upcoming weeks, and probably I'm just going to sell him. In attack, have Thiago, Ekitike, Haaland. Really happy that I kept Thiago for that feature at least against Bournemouth, and I just think that the forward options at the moment, as I said before so many times, are pretty rubbish, all of them. Ekitike was my transfer for Mateta, so really happy that I did that transfer. After all, Mateta blanked again. Ekitike just got just one assist, but yeah, it is what it is. 5 pointers. The fixtures are still decent, and with the injuries for Isak and for other Liverpool players, Ekitike is a really solid pick long term, I think. At the moment, Haaland blanked, as I said before, didn't impact me that much, but yeah, probably I should have thought a little bit more about captaining Ekitike. Now, overall, Dubravka on my bench with an 11-pointer sums up this gaming perfectly. This is peak FPL, and yeah, it was really bad. In the last 2 gamings, my gamings gone just from worse and worse to more worse, but it is what it is. 377k at the moment after I was 100k and something 2 gamings ago. So I got 2 big red arrows, and yeah, I can't change anything at the moment. I think that my team was decent. Some picks obviously didn't really help me that much, but I like overall my team at the moment. I don't think that it is a horrible team or anything else, and also I have 1.9 millions in the bank and 3 free transfers, so let's see what I can do to turn it up for Game Week 19. Alright guys, now that you can see my whole team for Game Week 19, this is currently how am I lining up for Game Week 19 with 1.9 millions in the bank and 3 free transfers. So definitely, probably I'm going to do some moves for Game Week 19, but let's just talk a little bit about how my team is lining up, right? Because I think that it is a pretty decent team, honestly. Now, looking at my goalkeepers, definitely I'm just going to start Raya. The fixtures for Arsenal are pretty bad for the next 3 game weeks, let's be honest. Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool. Could I see Arsenal conceding in every one of them? Yeah, but could I see some clean sheets there? Of course, Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League. So again, happy to keep Raya at the moment. I don't think it is a necessity for me to sell Raya to another goalkeeper. I don't think that there are such better options. Now again, someone like Dubravka got 11 points last gaming, but probably that's not going to happen every gaming. And looking at my defense, Virgil van Dijk, O'Reilly, Lacroix. I think that this is a perfectly fine backline. Again, all these players have some downsides to them. Again, if we talk about someone like Virgil van Dijk, maybe you're asking why am I just not selling him, because he was really bad. He didn't keep a clean sheet against Wolverhampton. But the truth is, again, although Liverpool didn't keep that clean sheet against Wolverhampton, the fixtures are pretty decent for Virgil van Dijk. And honestly, I just don't see other really amazing options elsewhere worth a transfer. So for an example, I could just sell Virgil van Dijk to someone like Keane from Everton, who maybe is going to be a little bit better short term, but someone like Keane also is going to lose his place probably at some point. So the fixtures for Liverpool, what I'm trying to say is that are decent. Leeds at home, again, for me, I'm that type of manager who there's just no way I'm going to sell Virgil van Dijk against Leeds at home. I know that in the reverse fixture, Leeds scored 3 goals against Liverpool. Is that going to happen again? Maybe, but probably not, I would say. And again, Virgil van Dijk has all these threats to him. He has attacking threat. He could keep a clean sheet. He can be decent for defensive contributions, although he wasn't amazing in the last few fixtures. So again, if I need to keep Virgil van Dijk until game week 22, so be it. If I want to sell him in game week 20 for someone like Gabriel, I can do that. But also, someone like Gabriel is going to play against Bournemouth. Liverpool are going to play against Fulham, so it's not the end of the world. Now, Leeds, Fulham is okay. Arsenal is bad in game week 21, but if I'm going to sell Van Dijk to Gabriel in game week 21, Arsenal are also going to play against Liverpool, so it's not such an amazing fixture anyway. And in game week 22, we have Burnley at home, so even a team like Liverpool can keep a clean sheet against Burnley. But again, let's see if I'm going to keep Van Dijk until that. But for game week 19, definitely I'm not thinking about selling him. O'Reilly, again, he is a pick who I like at the moment. I still think that he's decent. Sunderland, Chelsea, Brighton, Man United, Wolverhampton, game week 22. After that, the fixtures are going to get a little bit more trickier. Spurs away, Liverpool away. But again, O'Reilly is a pick who I like because he's an attacking defender. And yeah, no way I'm going to sell O'Reilly this game week anyway against Sunderland away. Lacroix, Fulham at home. Again, Crystal Palace were pretty bad in the last recent fixtures, let's be honest, but he still got defensive contributions every game week almost. And I think that Fulham at home is not the type of game I want to sell Lacroix. I can easily see a clean sheet for them, but again, if I want to make some moves in defense, probably Lacroix is going to be the one who's going to be sold. Now on my bench I have Alderete, who's going to play against Man City at home, and Rodon, who's going to play against Liverpool. But with Rodon, he's a doubt for this game week. So if I want to make a defensive transfer, it's either going to be Lacroix or Rodon, because I'm pretty okay with keeping Virgil van Dijk and O'Reilly for the moment. But let's discuss about the midfield, and then we're going to discuss about the moves I'm thinking of doing, because there are a lot of combinations. Cunha, as I said before, great fixtures. Wolverhampton, Leeds, Burnley in the next three. I'm just going to keep Cunha. Again, he could be also a nice captaincy option, but at the moment I think that I'm still going to go with the robot with Erling Haaland against Sunderland away, but Cunha definitely is a nice captaincy option also. Foden, going to keep him as long as he plays 90 minutes or he gets good minutes. I'm thinking that I'm just going to keep Foden, although his ownership is pretty high. The fixtures are still okay for Manchester City, and yeah, we know that they are a real attacking team, so no point in selling Foden at the moment. Semenyo, I think that he's pretty much sellable, and this was my plan all along, to sell someone like Semenyo. Now, the options to buy are not amazing, I'm going to be honest. I hope that at this point in time in game week 19 we're going to have more options in midfield, but the truth is there aren't a lot of great options to sell Semenyo for. But the fixtures, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Spurs, Brighton, Liverpool, yeah, are just pretty bad. And Wolverhampton in game week 24 is nice, but at that point I can just buy Semenyo back if I want to. So probably Semenyo is going to be sold. Now, if you, I don't know, don't have any free transfers and you're forced to keep Semenyo against Chelsea, I just don't think that this is the worst scenario. Semenyo is a nice player to have around Christmas, around this festive period. You know that he's going to play 90 minutes every game, so I could make a case to keep Semenyo, but I have 3 free transfers, so I think that I need to do something. My other midfielders are Minte and Anderson, both of them with decent fixtures this game week. Minte against West Ham away. I know that he was benched against Arsenal, but after he came in, I thought that he played pretty good, and I expect him to start against West Ham. And he also has Burnley in game week 20, so that's the only reason why I'm still thinking about keeping Minte. The only problem with him is that the minutes have not been great in the last few game weeks. He's not playing 90 minutes anymore, and that's a problem. But again, if I have to play him against West Ham and against Burnley, I'm okay with that. If he's going to get decent minutes, then I think that he's an amazing option to have. But again, there are some downs there. Anderson currently he's on my bench against Everton at home. I bought Anderson a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know really what I was expecting to get. I know that he's a decent player to have at that price. He's a good option at 5.3 million. He's decent for defensive contributions, but it's looking like he lost the set pieces, and that I don't know, diminishes the appeal of Anderson a little bit. And because I'm playing three forwards and I'm mostly playing 3-4-3, Anderson is pretty much always going to be on my bench. So I'm thinking about just tanking that spot with a really cheap midfielder, because the truth is I'm just never going to play my fifth midfielder, and I'm just never going to play someone like Anderson instead of someone like Thiago, for an example, who's a striker on penalties, although he wasn't amazing in the last few weeks. So definitely I can see some me selling someone like Semenyo, Mint, Anderson. All these players are pretty much sellable. But if I was to pick one to keep, it's going to be Minte, just because of the next two fixtures, and maybe just to reassess afterwards. In attack, Haaland, Ekitike, Thiago, these players are going to go nowhere at the moment, because again, I could just change my structure, right? To just keep Ekitike and Haaland and sell Thiago to Marguyu, to Obi from Manchester United, and just tank that spot and upgrade my midfield. But the truth is, do I want to go for someone like Bukayo Saka when the fixtures are going to be terrible for Arsenal, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool? Probably not. Do I want to go for Palmer? Maybe Palmer is going to be a nice option. Maybe he's the one. But Bournemouth at home, I think that this is a perfectly fine fixture. By the way, if you have Palmer, he's okay. Man City, Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace. So after game week 2021, after that fixture against Man City, I think that Palmer is going to be a really interesting option. The only problem with Palmer is also the minutes. Maresca said that he can play 90 minutes against Aston Villa, and he didn't play 90 minutes. So I'm just not sure if he can play all the games who are coming up next for Chelsea. So that's the only problem with Palmer. So at the moment, I don't want to go for Saka. I don't want to go for Palmer. I don't want to go for Mohamed Salah, who's at AFCON. So I just don't feel the need to tank that spot. And Thiago is fine. Spurs at home is a fine fixture. Everton, Sunderland coming up next. I think that he's going to start all these games. Then it's Chelsea, Forest, Aston Villa, Newcastle. At some point, probably I'm going to look to sell him. Now, if I want to sell Thiago, probably he's not the priority in my team, right? But if I was to sell him, Voltemat, Mateta, uh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I just don't think that I'm going to go there. So yeah, really happy with Haaland, with Ekitike. We take Ekitike until his minutes are going to be amazing, and Isak is going to be out for a long period of time. I think that is a fantastic option. He's not going to score 2 or 3 goals every game, but playing as a number 9 for Liverpool, I think that it is okay in itself. And Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal, Burnley until game week 23, even Bournemouth away is a decent fixture. The fixtures are decent for Liverpool, and I'm expecting Ekitike to do real well. So yeah, now let's talk what I'm going to do, right, for um, game week 19. So uh, the problem with Game Week 19 is that at the moment, I don't know. I think that we reach a place in FPL. I don't know if that's just for myself or that's with a lot of people, but I'm just not real sure what I want to do. I'm not 100% sure which players I want to go in. I have Cunha, Foden, I have Haaland, Ekitike. I have these core players I really want to have in my team. Now, what am I missing for my team? I don't know. Double Arsenal defense, maybe Bukayo Saka, maybe a Rice. But honestly, do I want to double up on Arsenal defense for the next three? Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool? Maybe. I mean, they are the best defense in the Premier League. In the last few fixtures, they didn't keep a clean sheet. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't keep clean sheets anymore. And the big news of Game Week 18 is that Gabriel is back. So he was subbed in for Arsenal. He played some minutes, and probably again, the minutes could be managed. Don't get me wrong, for Gabriel for the next three, but as long as he's going to start, everyone is going to want to have Gabriel into their teams. Now, I'm just not sure if this is the perfect time for me to buy him. Aston Villa at home, is this the best entry point to double up on Arsenal defense? Probably not, probably not. But again, Gabriel could score some goals. We know that when he's fit, Gabriel is pretty much the best defensive pick in FPL, and I don't think that a lot of people can argue with that. So yeah, what I can do is to just sell Rodon to Gabriel. Probably this would be the smartest move for me. I guess to sell Rodon to Gabriel, and I need to find 0.3 millions. And I can easily do that by just selling someone like Semenyo to someone like Soboslai, right? Uh, so yeah, I could do that, make two transfers. And if I'm going to make these transfers, the thing is, uh, am I just going to play Gabriel instead of Lacroix, who arguably has a better fixture? So that's what I'm talking about, because I'm just not sure what I'm going to do. Is it worth to just sell Rodon to Gabriel, have him early, just to bench Lacroix against Fulham at home? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And also make two transfers to a four Gabriel. Is that worth it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Now, obviously, I could just play Lacroix instead of Anderson and also instead of Minte, and play 4-3-3. But again, if I have Minte, who's going to play against West Ham away, probably I would be tempted to just play him ahead of Lacroix. So again, on the bench, I would have Anderson and Lacroix and Alderete. So this is what I can do. And also that would leave me with 0.7 millions in the bank. I could roll the other transfer. And if we go into game week 20, then I'm going to have Gabriel, O'Reilly, Virgil van Dijk. Here, Minte against Burnley. I'm just going to play him instead of Anderson. And yeah, that would be my bench. Newcastle away for Lacroix, Aston Villa away for Anderson. And yeah, again, I don't mind having Gabriel for Aston Villa for Bournemouth. I think that this is a pretty decent plan. Uh, Other than that, if you go to game week 21, Gabriel is going to play against Liverpool. So this is going to be a pretty bad gaming for me, where I don't know, someone like Soboslai is going to play against Arsenal, Ekitik against Arsenal, Virgil van Dijk, I need to sell him. So yeah, if you just refresh my team, just let's just go through on other moves, right? Because easily what I can do in one move, if I want to sell someone like Rodon, who's likely to be out for a period of time, is to just let me just put 5.9 millions Newcastle players, right? They're going to be really interesting to buy because of the fixtures. If we look at someone like Chow, probably this is the way I'm going to go. Burnley, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Wolverhampton, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Brentford. The fixtures are pretty decent for Newcastle, and Chow is pretty much the most nailed defender for Newcastle. Good for defensive contributions, good chances to keep some clean sheets. Now, Hall could also be an option for Newcastle, but I'm just not sure if he's going to play all the fixtures for Newcastle. That's the only problem. So this is what I can do. I can buy someone like Chow and just avoid Arsenal defenders. But again, it would be to bench Lacroix or to bench Minte. So yeah, that's the thing. I have a pretty decent squad, I think, and I'm just having some benching headaches every game week. Now, if we talk about Newcastle, here I can buy someone like Voldemort in attack, but probably I'm not going to do that because I think that my three strikers are okay and are not worth a transfer. Someone like Anthony Gordon is going to be a consideration. Now, I didn't mention before, I could just roll with my team. I could just roll with Semenyo playing against Chelsea, and it's not going to be at the end of the world, and have 4 free transfers next game week. Because I don't know, at the moment, I really don't know what I want to do. But if we talk about other defenders, I could go for, I don't know, a Chelsea defender like Chaloba could be okay because the fixtures for Chelsea are going to be decent. Besides Man City away in game week 20, it's perfectly fine to play them. Crystal Palace, I don't think that I want to go for another Crystal Palace defender. Uh, Spurs are okay, but I'm not sure if I want to go there. Um, yeah, other than that, I'm not going to go for Anderson from Fulham. I don't think that, again, Everton defenders could be okay, but if I wanted to buy Everton defenders like Keane or Tarkovsky, I should have just gone against Burnley, I think. Now, Nottingham Forest away is not a horrible fixture or anything else, but I just not sure if this is the best time to buy him. And also, how many fixtures Keane is going to play. Is he going to play against Brentford? Is he going to play against Wolverhampton? Is he going to play against Leeds at home in gaming 23? Yeah, I'm not sure. Braithwaite is going to be back. So the other defenders who I'm thinking are going to be Man United defenders, and I'm just not sure. I can't believe I'm talking about buying a Man United defender, but someone like Dorgu, if you missed the games around Christmas, he's playing as a winger pretty much for Manchester United because they don't really have a lot of options in attack. They have Sesko, Cunha, and pretty much that's it. So someone like Dorgu, I think that he's an amazing punt for Game Week 19 for the short term. Let's just say I'm going to sell Rodon to Dorgu. The same would be to bench Lacroix or Minte, which doesn't feel great. But again, I feel like I need to make a defensive transfer, or more like I need to do something for Game Week 19. My rank is not amazing at the moment, and Dorgu is an amazing punt. Now, if you want a long-term defender, Dorgu probably is not for you. But if you want a player for the next three, I think that is pretty much safe until AFCON, until Amad Diallo is going to be back. I think that Dorgu pretty much has to play. Now, I can't guarantee anyone that he's going to play 90 minutes in those three games, but Wolverhampton, Leeds, Burnley is just nice. It's just nice. I really like to have an out of position defender playing as a winger. Everybody wants that, right? Something like someone like Louis Potter from Brentford. Now, the only problem with Dorgu is that he's on 4 yellow cards, and if he's going to get it against Wolverhampton, he's going to miss Leeds, but at least you're going to have him for Burnley away. So, because after Game Week 19, the yellow card situation is going to reset. Now, again, do I want to go for Dorgu instead of just going for Gabriel, who's going to be, I don't know, basically in my team until the end of the season? I'm not sure, but I feel like I want to take a punt this gaming, and I think that at 4.1 millions, even when he's not going to play anymore, yeah, he could just root on my bench, right, as my fifth defender. So yeah, I really like going for Dorgu. Not going to lie, that's also going to let me with 1.8 millions. Now let's discuss about other options. Probably, as I said before, I'm going to sell Semenyo, and if we look at midfield options, as I said before, I don't think that I want to go for Bukayo Saka at the moment. I don't feel like I want to go for Palmer. But again, I could do that, but I'm just not sure about the minutes. Gakpo is definitely a consideration. He's back fit. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes is a consideration. Gordon is a consideration from Newcastle. Other than that, Cherky, I have three players from Manchester City, so I can't go for Cherky. Rogers, yeah, this is the worst time to buy Rogers, I think, playing against Arsenal away. So definitely I'm not going to buy him next game week. But should I just, I don't know, buy Rogers right now and have him from game week 20 onwards? Nottingham Forest, Palace, Everton, Newcastle, Brentford, Bournemouth. Maybe that's a way to play, I guess. Wirtz, I think that the boat with Wirtz was missed the last gaming. I spoke before that he was a great option for the next two, and he scored the goal in game week 18. So congrats to anyone who gone there. But I don't know. I think that the boat has been missed a little bit. Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal. Yeah, I much rather just go for a safe pick like Soboslai, who's going to play 90 minutes every game week, who's also on penalties until Salah is going to be out. So Soboslai is the most likely player I'm going to buy. In midfield, Shade could be a consideration. Kudus is an okay pick. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Jeremy Pino. Let's just say Soboslai because he's the most likely player I want to get in. I want to have my triple up of Liverpool against Leeds at home. And Soboslai at 6.6 millions, I think that he's a decent option. Now, you could argue that I should just go for Rice, who's maybe a little bit better, but Soboslai is on penalties also. So, again, on set pieces for Liverpool, pretty much. And yeah, that would leave me with 2.8 millions in the bank. Now, remember, guys, at some point, I'm going to buy Gabriel in. Maybe after the Liverpool game, maybe in Game Week 21, if I'm not going to buy him right now. So I need to have some money in the bank. Now, again, here, if we do these moves, I could just play here Minte instead of Anderson and have Lacroix on the bench, or just play Lacroix instead of Minte and have a 4-4-3 and save the other transfer, have two free transfers for next gaming. That's also consideration. So, uh, yeah, I think that this is the most likely scenario for me, and it doesn't feel great to have 2.8 millions in the bank. But if we go, let's just talk a little bit more about Gaming 19. If I want to go super aggressive, I could just sell Anderson to Anthony Gordon, right? The only problem with Gordon is I'm just not sure about his minutes. He played 90 minutes against Man United, which is amazing and it's encouraging a little bit, but could he be benched against Burnley away? That's my only concern at the moment. The next few fixtures are great. Burnley, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Wolverhampton. So on penalties, for Newcastle. He starts pretty much every game week, but the minutes are just not great overall this season. So he's a nice punt. I'm not sure if I want to go there, but definitely I can, and that would leave me with 0.7 millions in the bank and with enough money to move Virgil van Dijk to Gabriel if I want to. So this would be my team. Uh, Probably Minte on the bench and Lacroix on the bench also doesn't feel great, but yeah, this is how I'm going to play if I'm going to make all my 3 free transfers. Now, if we move to Gaming 20, if I'm going to make 3 transfers in 19, I'm just going to try to save some after that. And here I could play, I don't know, Minte instead of Foden, or instead of, I don't know, yeah, probably I'm just not going to play Minte, and that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like with these moves, because my team is decent, and not playing Minte against Burnley at home feels horrible. So probably I will need to find a way to play him, but instead of who? Instead of Gordon against Crystal Palace at home, maybe. Instead of Foden, maybe. So here I'm just going to roll. My team would look okay. I'm going to have 2 free transfers for game week 21. Here again, if we optimize, I could just play Alderete instead of Virgil van Dijk, or just sell Virgil van Dijk. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I want to sell Virgil van Dijk to Gabriel to play against Liverpool. But I can do that. I can do that definitely. But if I have to play Virgil van Dijk against Arsenal away, I don't think that this is going to be the end of the world. Other than that, my team looks okay. I could play Alderete instead of Soboslai, but probably don't want to do that. So if we can go until gaming 22 with this team, Van Dijk here is going to play against Man City. Lacroix is going to play against Sunderland, and my other midfielders are pretty okay. Cunha again could be one to be sold here, but again I don't really have a lot of money. So what I can do in gaming, in this gaming, I could just buy someone like Gabriel, who's going to play against Nottingham Forest away. But again, if I'm happy with still keeping Virgil van Dijk, maybe it sounds a little bit crazy at the moment, for Burnley at home, yeah, it's okay. If not, I could just sell O'Reilly to someone like Gabriel here, and sell someone like Cunha to, I don't know, a cheaper midfielder or something like that. Prepare for buying Palmer, something like that. I'm not sure if I can buy Palmer here. Uh, this is a nice entry point to buy someone like Palmer, but again, it would need me to make some transfers, which I can't pretty much afford at the moment. So let's just pretend my team. This is how my team is going to be for gaming 23. Here again, just going to do Van Dijk to Gabriel, uh, and yeah, here if I want to buy someone like Palmer, probably it has to be for someone like Cunha, and to downgrade someone like Gordon to Enzo Lefe, something like that kind of player that would leave me with 0.5 minutes in the bank. That I can do also in gaming 22. It's not a problem, and my team would look decent enough. I could play here Alderete. I could also sell Lacroix. So yeah, this is pretty much for this team selection. Sorry it was that long. Hopefully you enjoyed it a little bit, but basically I'm going to see you on deadline stream tomorrow. I'm going to think these 2 days what I'm going to do with my team, which way I want to go. Do I want to just go safe and just buy Gabriel this gaming, or do I want to go for someone like Dorgu? And I need to think also which players I want to keep. Do I want to keep Minte? Do I want to keep Anderson? Do I want to go for Soboslai? So yeah, thanks a lot for watching this long. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're enjoying your holidays. And yeah, thanks a lot for your amazing support this year. I want to say this season, but yeah, this year. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye.
Bag gura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag gura lor.